In a world that feels like it's always on, always demanding more from us, where do you even start to find a little bit of peace? Well, today we're going to dive into the ancient wisdom of Namaste and see how it can be a really powerful antidote to our modern, kind of chaotic lives.
So let's start with a big question, one I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. Are we looking for happiness in all the wrong places? Society kind of gives us this checklist, the career, the money, the success. But what if that whole formula is just broken?
Yeah, this probably looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? It's that relentless race for stuff on the outside, climbing the ladder, buying more things, getting more likes, all because we hope that the next thing will finally make us feel happy for good. But here's the kicker. More often than not, this chase doesn't lead to fulfillment. It just leaves us feeling totally burnt out and honestly pretty empty. If you've ever felt like you're stuck on this hamster wheel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what's the alternative? How do we get off? Okay, this is where we can turn to some really ancient wisdom for a completely different perspective. We're going to explore the idea of namaste, not just as a word you hear in yoga class, but as a genuine philosophy for living a more peaceful life. So the word namaste actually comes from Sanskrit, and it means so much more than hello. A good translation is, I bow to the divine in you. It's this beautiful recognition that every single person has something special, something valuable inside them. It's about seeing our shared humanity. And this quote, while it really just nails it, doesn't it? True, lasting happiness isn't something you can go out and buy or achieve. It's something you have to cultivate inside yourself. The journey isn't outward, it's inward. So that all sounds great, right? But how do we actually apply this ancient wisdom to our crazy modern lives? Well, let's break it down into 3 simple keys to finding that inner peace. All right, here's our roadmap. It's 3 simple but powerful steps. Live in the present, embrace simplicity, and cultivate connection. Let's dig into that first one. Okay, key number 1, live in the present moment. Now, I know this might sound a little cliche, but it is incredibly powerful. Think about it. Most of our stress comes from replaying the past or worrying about the future. But this philosophy reminds us that the present moment is the only one that's actually real. It's where life is happening. Just look at the contrast here. When your mind is somewhere else, stuck on that mistake you made last week or stressing about a meeting next month, you're totally disconnected. But when you bring your focus right here, right now, the benefits are immediate. We're talking less stress, a real sense of gratitude, and you start to understand yourself a whole lot better. Our second key is all about embracing simplicity. And boy, does this one go against everything modern culture tells us. We're constantly bombarded with messages to consume, to upgrade, to want more. But this wisdom suggests that real happiness, real freedom is actually found in the opposite direction. Simplifying your life isn't about depriving yourself. Not at all. It's about liberating yourself. When you start focusing on being grateful for what you already have, you create all this mental space. You get to escape that constant pressure to keep up, and you actually make room for the things that bring you real joy. And that brings us to our final key, cultivating connection. Now, this isn't just about being a social butterfly. This is about building a much deeper, more meaningful relationship, both with yourself and with the people in your life. And this connection is really a two-way street. On the one hand, it's about looking inward, getting to know yourself, understanding your own emotions. And on the other hand, it's about how you treat others, with empathy, with compassion, with respect. It's about seeing that divine spark in them, just like the meaning of Namaste teaches us. So when you bring all of these ideas together, you start to see a really clear pattern emerge. Any real, lasting change has to begin from within. So here's a huge takeaway. In a culture that basically worships being busy, choosing to slow down is a radical act. It's not a weakness, it's a profound strength. It's what allows you to actually reconnect with yourself and live with intention. And let's just say it again because it's so important. The less you're weighed down by wanting more and more stuff, the more freedom you have to experience genuine, authentic joy. Simplicity really does create freedom. And this brings us right back to where we started, to the meaning of Namaste. When you truly acknowledge the value in every single person you meet, you start to build harmony not just in your one-on-one relationships, but in the entire world around you. And maybe the most empowering message of all is this. Everything you're looking for, that peace, that happiness, that sense of meaning, it's not something you have to go out and find. It's actually already inside you, just waiting to be uncovered. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. It doesn't have to be some huge, life-altering change. What is one simple, tiny thing you can do today to start finding that inner calm?